Morning, CDP. What's going on? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, boss lady. What's going on? Good morning. You all, the weather is really bad today. So, uh, if you're in Texas, be careful. The weather is really bad. So let's unpack last night. Let's unpack last night because I'm looking at two people, and I think they both have issues. We all have wrong, but they do not like each other. And so this is how it played out. So if you were watching me yesterday, I put not the gay in the bisexual. So, I'm going to put that title up because it's a catchy title, uh, you know. But I did not say the man, which is Grown Folks TV, was gay or bisexual. I said not the gay or the bisexual, referring to the profile that they said that Grown Folks TV had. So let me be very clear with that. I did not say the man was gay or straight in that title, but I'm just referring to the profile that was made. That's number one. Okay. Number two, I said, even though I do not care for his antics and his tactics, something was a little off about that profile picture. And he was gay, bisexual, all at the same time, straight, all at the same time. Um, and he was into a lot of things. And it seemed like people hyped it up, you know. And so I didn't feel like it was 100%. That's me. So I spoke on that. Then Ness came over and said, well, that's been on for a while. She explained how it happened. And she explained that picture. And then Ro came on and said that picture been up since 2022, and that profile was up since 2022. So they were saying, well, this is why I think it is. Now, this is the issue that I have. All you had to say is, no, that is not, and this is why. But it is so interesting that he was highly charged and emotional about it. And some of the stuff he said to Ness was like, wow. Some of the stuff she said to him was, wow. I gave them equal opportunity to say what they wanted to say. But the question was, is that you? Is that your picture? Is that your profile? He said he didn't know anything about it, so he denied it. Rose said it's been up since 2022. Then he said, well, I'm telling people, no, I'm not telling people anything. I'm presenting what was out there. It's going to be up to the people to decide. But truth be told, quiet be kept, I think that there's some elements that say, hey, that may not be the man. Somebody may be setting them up. He's really not liked in a lot of sectors. And so people may go for him and do that kind of thing. That could be the case, right? What gets me is this. Who I love has nothing to do with grown folk. Now, this is why I release grown folk from my platform. We were talking about his situation. And as long as we're on his situation, I'm good. But when you're getting ready to insult a whole group of people to elevate yourself, and especially when it comes to manhood, I'm going to shut it down. And that's why I did not allow him back on my platform, because that's the problem that I have. And I had to stop him because I'm not going to argue and go back and forth like that. I had to stop it right there. Nope, we're not going to do that. You're not getting ready to say that because you're not going to insult the community. You're not going to insult me. And I'm going to dismiss you from my platform before you even start. And I guess that's the changing of the format for the most part, because we ain't going to do that. Now, with him and that Ness thing, they both said what they had to say. But this is why I have a problem with grown folk, and this is why I really don't allow him on my platform. I really wanted to know what he had to say about the situation. And so what I am saying now is, well, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. And I feel that way. I think it's very juvenile, though, to always bring up people's misgivings. And don't get me wrong, I've done it to Ness as well. But I know how Ness, I know how she operates. And Ness is slick. She really tries to low-T shade folk and don't think they understand or know what she's doing. Now, I apologize to her because, again, there was something that I thought was said, and, again, I didn't check with her. But I do know what people try to do. And this is why I don't trust people as far as I can throw them. And this is why I have this type of relationship where we're 1099, and, yeah, this is it. And once we're finished a topic, we're done. Jay done, totally different thing because totally disrespectful. But I wanted to stop Romo before he went too far and said something that would get him totally banned. And really, I just wanted to know, hey, is that your profile? And a lot of people seem to think that that is really his profile. So it is what it is. But if you're a same gender loving person, gay, bisexual, whatever, that's your business. And you're no less than anyone. And I just think that it's stupid. You know, you're not a man. What? And I just think it's really ignorant. And so I don't entertain the ignorance like that. Now, they went back and forth and they said what they wanted to. And y'all, it's juvenile. It's juvenile. I sat there and listened. And I know people think, and I sit back there like, ooh, he read or she read. But I'm like, y'all both tearing each other down. At the end of the day, y'all both got issues. Everybody has them, don't get me wrong. But y'all both have issues. And you're trying to elevate your issues above hers to make her look crazy, but you have issues. Now, a lot of you all thought I was being shady to him when I asked about that high school diploma. But the question has never been answered as long as I've been asking those questions. Give me $100 for what? So, yeah, I don't deal with that. I think it's foolishness of them for the mere fact, let me help you out. No, I don't need help out. I don't need you just 4 years older than I am. And I don't need your helping out. Seem like you done helped enough people out that have caused them a lot of pain and suffering at the end of the helping out. So I'm good. I'm good on your helping out. Help yourself. I'm good. I don't really have a problem with the gentleman. I understand that he needs content. I understand he needs something to talk about. I get it. I understand what sector we're in. I get it. That's why I asked him the question. If this sector is so dysfunctional, if the people are so ignorant, then why do you remain here? And he said content. And I think people do the same thing to you because you're content. And what I'm seeing is all of these people think they're the smartest ones in the room. And I just think it's funny. Because A lot of things that's getting ready to happen in our real life, in political life, is going to adversely affect all of us. And we don't really focus on the right thing. So those are my thoughts. And Honest Rowe came up and gave his side of the story. But could we have that conversation without all of the name calling? And I'm really finding out that name calling is a tactic to attack the person. And that's why I'm really trying to refrain from that, because it's easy to do. It's easy to revert back to that. But could you really have a conversation without that? So that's where I was last night. I wasn't expecting all of that last night, but I don't watch him. A lot of people say, "Well, he did this." I don't. I make it a point, y'all, not to put that foolishness in my spirit, and I keep on. This is why I don't watch people. This is why I do my commentary and my content and keep it moving. I'm just like that. Once it's done, we keep on moving. I don't read comments after this. If you don't put a comment in this chat, it will not get read. Other people can read it, but I don't, because people really have problems. And so, like I said, I have no issue with either of the content creators. They said what they said. I'm not quite there to believe it. That's my opinion. However, you all may believe it for your own reasons, which you can, and that's totally up to you. And I'm not mad at it. Do what you got to do. Somebody may have more insight than others. So now, my other deal is somebody might be that inclined to put that man stuff out and do that, but people are saying the verification process. Now, I don't know who this West person is. I think they came on my platform trying to act crazy, so I don't go with that. When people give me that kind of energy, when it comes to really verifying, I really have some issues with that, because I know that they may, yeah, always, always, always consider the source where it's coming from. So, yeah. Other than that, y'all, what else is going on? This reminds me of this due process situation, and I'm really having problems with people not wanting to give people their due process, because it's the Constitution, and people are skirting around questions, and it's quite simple. Either you believe the Constitution or not. And when you hear a Supreme Court justice say that these rights are granted to all persons, it didn't say if you're a citizen or not. It's due process. And my thing is, these are gang members, and this is why we're shipping them. Well, how do we know? Have we done the investigation, or have we just kicked them all out? And let me say this. It doesn't matter when the person doesn't look like you, but if a tattoo could get you kicked out of the country, I think we have problems. So why don't we start rounding up all people with tattoos of all races and start making sure that they're citizens? See, it's coming off of black and brown people, and we want to deport you. And what I'm going to say is, just because it is not you today, that doesn't mean it's not you tomorrow. And somebody who is adamantly against what President Trump is doing now is for it, I have an issue, because you are a Jewish man. And even though you do not look like that man who was deported to El Salvador, who's to say that Jewish people won't be lined up and sit somewhere? You're just not concerned because that person doesn't look like you. Now, how does this go back to what I'm saying? People are always missing the question. And I didn't care about, at that point, I don't care about parent raising skills because that wasn't up on the docket. The deal was that you or was it not you? And do you have proof to prove that it wasn't you? And I guess you said no. Some people really said yes, and that's it. And this is why I don't allow CX to come up and wreak havoc on my platform because that's another control issue tactic. And this is why I am very adamant of running my platform the way I run my platform and muting people and shutting people down. Because at the end, if you don't, people will control your, and I don't play that. I don't play that. I will mute you or put you down in a heartbeat when I feel that it's getting very disrespectful or you're losing emotional intelligence. And unfortunately, sometimes I have to raise my voice because some people don't know any better. So that is that. So what do you all think? And I'm not upset with anybody. It just goes to show you where we are in this sector. And I hate to say this, you all. I do think a lot of people are jealous of Lemon. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't have a problem with Lemon. I just don't watch Lemon. That's not my cup of tea when it comes to entertaining. However, if Lemon is doing his big one and people are over there watching, that is folks' business. I truly believe that people are upset with Lemon because the lack of effort that he possesses and makes money. And I think for that reason, people are extremely upset with Lemon. Lemon do this to women. Women do this to men. Women be doing, okay, is Lemon the first cult leader we've had in the B sector? I mean, we've seen women do it. So, and people will always talk about people who do something that other folk can't do. Lemon can't sing. Lemon can't dance. Lemon is Lemon. Lemon act like somebody wayward son that they want to help out. He a good boy when he good. He a bad boy when he bad. And maybe women like that. Okay. And if that's going to garner him some change, it is what it is. Do I have to go over there and watch? No. Do I have to go over there and subject myself to that? No. However, if people want that, they have every right to do that because it's called freedom. I don't have to like it, so I have the freedom not to go over there. And I have the freedom to do my video. But if Lemon is successful doing whatever he does, he has the right to. If somebody wants to give Lemon $1,000 and don't give you a dime, it is their choice. Now, you can call it out, but it is their choice. And again, we get to the male identified thing, but I know people who are straight identified. It seems like every straight man they come in contact with, they want to attach themselves to that. Do I get mad? Oh, no. But there are some straight identified women in the B sector. See, we can go over that. There are some skinny identified people in the B sector. Okay? So anybody can be identified. There are some color identified folk in the B sector. Seem like they don't like dark skinned people. Seem like anybody who's dark, they don't like. So again, we can go and play this game with identifiable things where people are attracted to or they're attached to because everybody has that. I don't play that game either. Come in and make your money. I'm just saying. I just think it's so weird. The B sector is the B sector. It is entertainment. Um, but yeah, everybody sees it how they want to see it. Correct, Darcina. We have people who don't like dark skinned folk. We have people who really don't like gay folk. And you see it every time a straight man come over, they identify, they attach themselves to that straight man. And boy, and then I've seen them even let these men attack the community. And they don't say nothing about it. And then when the straight men start attacking them, they want the community to come to their rescue. And I don't do that. Everybody's in it for themselves. I'm nope. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna fight because I've seen it happen over and over again. Somebody who says they're heterosexual come over, people flock. As soon as they start coming for the gays, the girls are here for it, and then when they turn on the girls, then they want the gays to come bail them out. I ain't doing it because I think some of y'all straight identify. But if that's what you want to be it. I don't care. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm money identified. Okay, so when the cash flow, that's how I identify. Boom, right there, right there. That's how I identify. Now, if that lady wanted to give Lemon $1,000, hell. And again, y'all got to realize that it's a competition, so the money's gonna have to be given away, and the lady wants the money to be given away. Now, the real deal, what I'm really looking for in this situation is how much of the money is going to be given away. Are you going to take that lady's money and take $500 for yourself and give $500 away? But the people said Lemon is giving away money as well. So let's see if the money is given away. Now, a lot of people think that these competitions are rigged. Speak for yourself. Everybody doesn't rig competitions. None of my competitions have been rigged. None of them. But I don't do competitions because I don't like do the fundraising, and I don't think it's lucrative in that sense. I mean, you get people over there, click on the link, but that's it, and it's not instant coin, so that's why I'm not always interested. However, everybody is different. What's up, Rennie TV? I did, Rennie. I did, and she's still singing up something. She's still singing, Rennie. That's my thing. So if the lady gave him $1,000 for a competition, well, I think the lady is giving to the talent that's going to come up because it's not necessarily for Lemon. It's for all of the people who are going to be participating. And Lemon may want to pay his judges. Let me say this. Let me say this. I had a competition. Not only did I give first, second, and third place prizes, all of the people who judged got something. And at the end of the day, Vivian and I split $75. Catch, $75. So maybe Lemon wants these people to do that. Maybe, and that's going to be more than $1,000. That's going to be more than $1,000. So I don't get that because on competitions, you don't keep that money. That money goes out. So I even have a problem with that. And like I said, y'all know I told y'all I don't watch Lemon. I don't. However, I'm not going to sit here and say that folk one pocket watching Lemon. And it seems like and I'm going to say this. I don't have anything personal against Brianna. I don't. But this is the deal again. All of those manosphere type guys came through your portal. Y'all were entertaining them at the expense of the gays. And then when that man turned on you, both wanted the gays to fight. And isn't it ironic and isn't it very odd that King Roman was the person, the knight in shining armor, to come and protect the girls from the heterosexual men. But now, the same person that he was protecting, he fights. And you know why? Because they didn't like EA in the first place. They always do that when straight men come over. They get all hot in the pants and they throw the gay boys right away. Because again, we gonna argue with you, and you're not gonna say what you want to say to us. I don't have the time to fight anymore, so I ain't doing all of that foolery. I just sit back and look at you, because I'm still enjoying my hot water and my salt water. I don't got time for it. Life is too good on the other end to be arguing with people who really don't contribute anything to your life of value. But I see that, and now they're not even cool. Now, are all women like that? No, no. But I saw that happen in real time. Saw it happen in real time. And I'm going to say this. This is not scientific. Let me say this again. This is not scientific, but this is what I have observed. A majority of the men who come over here in the beef sector, most of them guys probably bisexual or done had an experience with a man. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying the majority. And we've seen it play out. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, you take that how you want to. And I said it very carefully. Not all, but the majority that have come over here in some form of fashion like men. Now, they may not be gay. They may be men sleeping with men creeping with men. Because, see, no one wants to identify that. They want to do the action. They want to do the dirty. Yeah. So they don't want to be a part of the community. They just want to do the dirty. They just want to do the act. So it's that prison mentality. It's that prison mentality. And that's why we have them, and that's why we call them men sleeping with men. Because at the end of the day, they don't want to identify, even though that's what they really are. But it's all good. It's cool. We know. Now, I didn't say all. I said a majority that I have observed. Now, if that ain't you, then you don't have nothing to worry about. How many of y'all agree with that? I mean, I'm not saying you have to agree with me. How many of y'all agree? Put a 1 if you agree. If you don't agree, put a 2. I'm not trying to make everybody gay either, but we see what's going on. So if you agree, put a 1. If not, put a 2. And I'm not saying all men, because there have been many men to come over here, and but maybe it's a lot of boys who've been coming over here, and we've been finding out that maybe they've been dipping in both ponds, getting nectar from all kind of trees. They say they like golden honey, but they've been sipping in that them purple flowers, because we see purple honey. I'm just saying. Yeah, I know some people are not going to agree, but like I said, that's why I didn't say all. But I have seen a lot of men come over here, and they doing a lot. Yeah, and a lot of things are suspect. There's some men I'm like, no, not in 1,000 years. But there's some, it's like, yep, yep, yep. Yep. So it's all good. But you know what? It's a really small microcosm of what we see today in the world. because how many people is Shannon Stylist busting out? Baby, Shannon Sharp Stylist is calling them all out, all out. And let me say this too: everybody ain't gay. I'm gonna be honest. Everybody ain't gay. But when I lived in Cincinnati, and there was somebody who came from Atlanta who he presented as straight, but he was with a whole lot of Cincinnati Bengal football players, married. And I asked him the question. I'm like, well, how did you get in contact with him? A Dallas Cowboy football player, passing men around like, baby. So this Diddy stuff and all that, I think people are really confused because this Diddy stuff, I think it's going if it's really gonna go to trial, I think some people getting ready to get exposed. Like people couldn't believe that Cuba Gooding Jr. was Usher and all them. Baby, people getting ready to get exposed because they don't appear gay, but it's men sleeping with men. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And this is why it hurts the LGBTQIA community because the first thing people want to do is identify these people who don't identify as us. And again, we don't claim you because you really don't identify. And truly, you're in a category by yourself, which is men sleeping with men. And I'll leave it at that. See, women, you need to be upset with men sleeping with men because they don't identify as gay. But it's these men sleeping with men who really spreading a lot of stuff. I'm just saying. Because a gay man gonna say I'm gay or I'm bisexual. But a man who's sleeping with a man ain't gonna do that. And will have a beard on his side like he is really, but anyway, it is what it is. And the sad part about it, you all, this church stuff, baby, it has gotten a lot of people in some situations. Uh 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 uh. So there there's some people in the church who ex gay, they ain't gay no more. They ex gay. They done been delivered, set free, but yet they still creeping. My God. Uh-huh. I know somebody at home, married and everything, and be preaching strong and hard, but trying to get me to go eat with them at a restaurant without the presence of their wife. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because I don't want to mess your deliverance up. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, people be playing. My thing is this. So you ain't doing the act, but the desire is still there. I'm going to leave it right there. I keep on telling people, go and get delivered all the way, boo. Do what you got to do. Yeah. Who is Michael B? Who is Michael B, y'all? What's up, Fridge Nat? Who is Michael B? Who is Michael B? You mean Michael B. Jordan? Y'all, let me say this. Let me say Hollywood is a mess. I don't care if you married. I don't trust nobody because people do anything to make it. And I can understand why Taraji P. Henson wanted to leave the industry because the industry is nasty. You got people with a whole bunch of power who controls what scripts you get, control what kind of house you're going to live in, because, again, at the drop of a hat, you can be blackballed in Hollywood. And anytime people got that much power over folk, it's going to be trouble. And I'm telling you, them Disney cheering, oh my God, them Disney children. But we know what goes on. And this is why I say y'all can have it, because I'm not going to lose my freedom of privacy or autonomy and to make the decisions that I want to make. Let me tell you about that movie Sinner, since y'all talking about Michael Jordan. That movie Sinners is very interesting, and you better watch what you invite in your house. I was actually watching True Blood because I really didn't know the vampire culture. So True Blood, I was watching Lafayette and how people have to allow certain things in. And I think a lot of Hollywood is like that. You have to allow it. But Hollywood don't even care. Baby, they'll take you over. Shout out to Chip Fields, who really kept Kim Fields grounded and not a statistic. Because child actors and actresses really, really have a hard time of it. But we know that Hollywood is it. And the Diddy thing, no one would have believed it unless somebody was there. Because all of this stuff with Diddy, it was always alleged. Even when Wendy Williams was talking about it, baby, the powers that be in them fixers was not trying to hear it. But now I think that the bandage is going to come off and we're going to see some. Weinstein is the tip of the iceberg. He ain't the only one. Diddy ain't the only one. There's a lot of gatekeepers who are doing a lot of nasty stuff. And this is why when people are really successful in the music industry or the movie industry, I'm asking how. How did you do this? You know, Denzel, how did you do it? But notice Denzel he works his movies, but he's far from all of that stuff. But how did you do it? And let me say this. People always think because, oh, folk married. Oh, no. Baby, did not Wayne Brady let you know that you could be, okay? Wayne Brady should, you know, we just think married. Oh, they're married. So, no, that don't mean nothing. That means you got a ring. These people crazy. Oh, Lord. Catherine, could you please can I say this? Now, let me tell y'all something. Oh, I'm glad you brought up William McRae. Baby, it's a lady out of Atlanta. And when I tell you she started off praying and casting out demons, but in the end, baby, she was cussing folk out. In the end, baby, she put William McRae in his place. Sister was not playing. You hear me? Baby, she wasn't playing. Ooh, when I tell you, baby, when I tell you she read William McRae down, yes. But pastors are still saying that pastor that died in the bathhouse, and people are actually mad at William McRae for telling it. My. I see that Pastor Shirley Raiders had pulled away from TD Jakes. Yeah, sure. Let me tell you something. Baby, these people are there for the loaves and the fish. And you know, I am finding out that some, not all, but some white ministers are opportunists. They love our culture, they love our money, but they don't love us. And it's really interesting that Paula White, all in black people's pulpits and preaching, but yet she's a Trumper. I'm telling you. So again, they're with you until they ain't with you. And I have issues with, I don't know, I have some issues with some people in that circle. But it's a lot of things going on. Yeah. So yeah, William McCray, but that lady read William McCray down though. And she said the reason why you know because you done been in there yourself. Ooh, when I tell you she read him down, I'm like, oh my God. What's up, Smart Show? Oh, y'all, I just saw something. Oh my God, y'all, I'm sorry. I had to spit my coffee out. Oh my God. This lady was putting on lipstick and somebody tapped her bumper, baby, and she got lipstick. Oh, that ain't funny, Jesus. Ooh, I spit my coffee out, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Stuff you see on the way to work. Jesus. Oh my God. Why you do that lady like that? Y'all better start watching people and start, Lord Jesus, bumping people's bumpers. It ain't no accident, but he did tap her. Okay, they okay. She okay. Baby. Lipstick all up on the nose. Oh, all up on the nose. Baby. It look like she done, but she bleeding in the nose. Anyway, let me move on. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, that thing had me to spit out my coffee. That thing was so funny. What can I say? This TD Jakes is old. Y'all act like TD Jakes is 20. TD Jakes is old, and let me say this on behalf of TD Jakes. TD Jakes is old. Fred Price couldn't do what he did because we always keep these people in a young mind. It's like Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle can't be doing all that crazy stuff that she used to do because Patti LaBelle is old. These people are old. And TD, y'all don't understand, running a church is like running a business. And TD Jakes said, you know what? I want to enjoy my twilight years because I don't know when God going to call me home. So he could be stepping down for legal reasons, but I think the man is old. Did you not see the man almost fall out? I mean, really, he old. Okay, okay, but he's still old. He's still old. I was looking at John Hagin. I'm like, John Hagin, let your son take over this because baby, he was leaning all on the pulpit, and then he had on that box Sears J.C. Penney's looking suit, and he looked like his knees was hurting. I'm like, sat down, because baby, these people old. And it makes you even older when you got to deal with people. Why y'all think presidents be looking old when they get out the White House? Because they got to deal with all this foolishness. And so do preachers. Okay, they was at the Met Gala ball. Well, I guess they can afford it. They can afford it. Now, TD Jakes is about 70. So multiply that times 10. Dealing with church people, that makes you 80. Now, I'm not making an excuse for the man because if he got financial situation, it's going to come out. But y'all, come on, age has a lot to do with this because the young TD Jakes would have fought this. The young TD Jakes would have been da 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 da. I mean, this man moves his whole church from West Virginia to Dallas, deals with the controversy, deal with all of the stuff. And I mean, TD Jakes is a fighter, but at some point in time, you get too old to be doing this. He gonna be like Harold Ray, dead in the grave in West Palm Beach. And I'm so sorry that Harold Ray died. I remember when Harold Ray was starting that church. But he dead now. And soon Courtney McBath gonna need to retire renting TV because Courtney McBath, he started Calvary Revival when I was in Virginia. And that was in 1995. 65-ish. Y'all, these people old. And folk be tired. I'm serious, y'all. I was looking at what's that man's name? John Hagee. And I'm like, oh, Mr. Hagee, please go on and rest. Enjoy your labor. Enjoy the rest of your labor. Because I'm like, ooh. So anyway, but he may be investigated. I'm not saying that the man ain't being investigated. I mean, but he's still old. I'm just saying. Oh Lord. Okay. Well, let me say this. If TD Jakes is gay, I wouldn't be surprised. If he's bisexual or whatever, fluid, I wouldn't be surprised. So big deal. It is a surprise to y'all. It ain't a surprise for people in the community. Now, I'm not saying that the man is gay. I'm not saying that the man is anything. But if he is, it wouldn't come as a surprise to me. Nothing really comes as a surprise to me anymore. I'm just saying. And I'm not defending him either because, like I said, when Eddie Long went through that stuff, baby, I knew it was true. I knew it was. I knew it was. But if TD Jakes, yeah, but you know what get me? Um, what's that crazy man who in Fort Worth and used to come on him and his wife? They were both crazy. What's that white man in Fort Worth who was telling people to come to church during COVID? Copeland, Kenneth Copeland, and Gloria Copeland. Nobody ain't saying nothing about them. See, this is what get me. Black people will go ahead and don't get me wrong, but I want black people to be equally as interested in the finances in TDJs. I want them to be interested in Kenneth and Gloria Copeland because baby, they living real fat in Fort Worth, which is on the other side of Dallas. And can I tell y'all something else too? Nobody ain't say nothing when that Falwell man and his wife was swingers and hired the pool boy. See, they had a real freak off party over there, but nobody ain't talking about Jerry Falwell's son and how they had to take him down from being the president at Liberty University. Far more money than TD Jakes will ever have. But nobody ain't saying nothing about that. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do this, but I think we need to hold the same regard for these white pastors as we do for our black pastors. Because we know it ain't right, period. But nobody, that thing went away. Didn't it go away real quick? Liberty got rid of him. And the sad part about him, he's still getting paid. He just ain't the president no more. Now, y'all can say what y'all want to, but I love me some Tammy Faye Baker. I don't know about that Jim, but that Tammy, baby, let me tell you something. Tammy Faye, I ain't gonna ever forget when she was at PTL. Baby, she went to that prison. Tammy had on that nasty piece of fur and all of them diamonds, and she was hugging them women. I said, you better go on, Tammy. Okay, she said, don't give up from the thrill of victory. Baby, she was singing in that twang, and ooh, she was crying. I'm like, come on, Tammy Faye. But Tammy Faye had that fur coat all up in the prison with all of them diamonds. Baby, but I mean, I really think Tammy Faye was a good person. I really do. And I like Tammy Faye because she liked people. And a few people met Tammy Faye and they really like her. But baby, she was in that women's prison. Baby, she was singing and preaching. But let me tell you something. You know you a boss when you can go into a women's prison with your fur and your diamonds dripping all over and still minister the word of God. I'm like, okay, Tammy Faye, we see you. I ain't gonna ever forget that. Oh my God. I was like, is this lady? I was like, is she in a women's prison? Dripping with fur and diamonds and preaching the word of God. Ah, baby. But let me say this. At least she went. At least she went. I saw Tammy Faye do stuff like that. I saw Tammy Faye do stuff like that. And Tammy Faye, I don't care how much money, Tammy Faye was not afraid to go to the people. I will give her that. Now that air conditioned dog house and stuff, but overall, I think Tammy Faye was a good person. I'm just saying. You know, again, a lot of black intellectuals have been gay and married. You know, James Baldwin, he knows. Um, yeah, a lot of people have said Philip A. Randolph, even though he had a wife, he liked men. Some people have said that Paul Lawrence Dunbar was dating one of the Wright brothers, and the Wright brother was married, but he was very abusive. Now, I want y'all to catch this. He was very abusive to his wife. That's the talk in dating. And he loved being around Paul Lawrence Dunbar. And I noticed, you know, that may be a pattern. Not to say that it, but when men are very abusive to women, I'm just saying. Oh yeah. Oh, you better believe it. Yeah, and so was the women. If y'all didn't think Nikki Giovanni was no lesbian, I got a bridge to sell you. But God rest her dead, because let me tell you something. Alice Walker's a lesbian. Nikki, and see, this is the thing. You're not gonna call people any less than anybody, because Nikki was brilliant, and she's civil rights. She's people's rights. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King knew the power of gay. That's why he hired that man to do his organizing and his speech right. If you think Wanda Sykes is dumb, you crazy. I'm just saying. Monique bisexual. I think her husband is too, but like I said, if you say he's straight, he's straight. But Monique, it's a lot of people, and they ain't no less than anybody else. That's what I want y'all to get, because people want to act like people less than. Yeah, it's a lot of people. Oh, really, Ralph Abernathy? Okay, I ain't put my finger on that. He said Ralph Abernathy. I don't know nothing about that, but a lot of preachers are though, because James Baldwin wanted to be a preacher. That was his thing. He was raised in the church. Leon Talley, raised in the church. I'm just saying, baby, Leon Talley would have ate this Met Gala up. Talley would have ate this Met Gala up. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. He would have ate this Met Gala up. Anyway, I saw some real interesting fashions at this Met Gala. But let me say this, and I'm not saying all fraternities, and I'm not saying all sororities, but a lot of fraternities and sororities. Well, I'm gonna say this: all of these fraternities and sororities have some component of the LGBTQIA in their ranks. I don't care who you are. The Omegas have a. They may not. It may not be overtly out, but I know gay Omegas. I know gay alphas. Lord knows I know gay alphas. And Jesus, anytime you call yourself a pretty boy and you be shimmying and touching yourself, I know you got some issues. So I know some gay Kappas. And believe it or not, them country Sigmas, I know some gay. And again, y'all, it's really funny because when I was in Ohio, baby, they had a gay mafia. I call them the Black Sigma Gay Mafia in Ohio. And I ain't gonna say no more because that person's still alive. But yeah, so all of those fraternities, all of those sororities have some form of that in it. Wanda Sykes, I think, isn't Wanda Sykes an AKA? So does it make the AKA a bad organization because Wanda is in it? No, I think the AKAs respect Wanda for her comedy genius. I think Wanda's an AKA. So yeah, it is what it is. Oh, Catherine, I know, all of them do, all of them do, and the white ones do too. It ain't only the black ones. And I'm not trying to make everybody gay, but I want you all to know that gay people have been here for the longest. Gay people have designed stuff. They have been in the fabric. Hey, you may not have known, but baby, they've been here. I did not know. Now this is gonna get y'all. I did not know that the man who was on the Cosby Show, who played the daddy, I didn't know he was gay. And then, he had a white lover, so they showed all of that. Well, he was very nice looking man, though, very nice. But I didn't know that the daddy on the Cosby Show, which I think was Bill Cosby, said he was gay in real life. Yes, he was. Oh yes. Now, who I thought was gay, but I don't know because he was married, but that don't mean nothing. But he was a Alvin. No, he was a well, yeah, I think he might have been an Alvin Ailey dancer. He was a dancer. But the guy who used to be on, he's Caribbean. The guy who was on the diet, 7 Up, crisp and clean, no caffeine, diet 7 Up. The guy who had the real deep, deep voice and the bald head. Now, baby, he was a dancer, and he was real skinty. He was real skinny, but he could dance. And he was married to a principal dancer. They ain't had no kids. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. But some people get married, so people leave them alone, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But can I say, we just need to learn how to celebrate everybody, because everybody brings something. I like T.S. Madison. I like Luscious Massacre. Luscious Massacre, love that character. The gentle creatures to that gentle man. Come on now. Luscious Massacre. The girls are not well. The girls are not well. This is highly disrespectful to the girls. If you haven't seen Luscious Massacre, please go see. I love some Luscious Massacre. T.S. Madison. There's some really funny trans people out there. I know Coco Montrese personally. Um, I know Coco Montrese personally. And Coco Montrese grew up in a Pentecostal church that I went to. And Coco Montrese's family loves her. And I don't think Coco Montrese wants to be a woman. I just think Coco Montrese does an excellent job impersonating, and I just think that's interesting. So I let people be who they are. Jeffrey Holden, yes, yeah. It's a lot of people, you all. It's a lot of people. Oh boy, this weather is really bad, y'all. So it gets back to the thing with ZX again. You don't have to like both, but just respect people's boundaries. And I think you have a big problem with that. And this is why I always question, why are you so fixated on that? I just, yeah. Why are you so fixated on it? And yeah, it's just, just weird to me. Anyway, y'all, it's just weird. Yeah, they have a lot of lavender marriages in the military because the woman may be a lesbian, her husband may be gay, but they know that they may not get rank if they are gay, and so they will marry each other for yeah, they marry each other for rank purposes or career purposes. Now I'm going to say this: every feminine man isn't gay. Every masculine woman isn't a lesbian. I'll say that as well. So yeah, let me tell you who I can enjoy, and I want to see her in a comedy club. And I don't think she's lost any edge. Is that damn Cheryl Underwood? I love some Cheryl Underwood. Now I don't agree with all of her. I don't agree with all of her doctrine for church. Even though I think she can preach. She said women ain't called to preach, but baby, Cheryl be preaching. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone because I think she's Church of Christ. But anyway, at any rate, Cheryl Underwood is funny to me. Funny as crap to me. And I love her because she takes care of her disabled sister. Cheryl Underwood, call it what it is. I think Cheryl Underwood has evolved as a person. I really do. I like Cheryl. I thought she had lost the edge on that talk show. But baby, I heard her on the Breakfast Club, and Cheryl ain't lost a bit. You hear me? I love some Cheryl Underwood. Cheryl is smart. Cheryl is smart. Extremely smart. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that, baby. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. It ain't don't matter to me because I ain't trying to date him, and I'm not old over there, and I'm not a part of that congregation. So I'm gonna leave it right on right there. I don't know, but if he is, it ain't nothing wrong. That's number one. I mean, you think it's a lot of gay people in the Air Force. It's a lot of gay people in neighborhoods. They're there. They're there. I mean, a lot of people do the don't ask, don't tell. Now, I will say this: in this Trump era, I don't know. In this Trump era, but y'all, we have messed up so much progress, and I believe we're going back in civil rights. We're going back in human rights. I think people don't have the decency for each other. Please don't hit that lady car. Ooh, these people. Ooh, baby. Let me get away from Helen. Helen don't know how to drive. Helen all up on the steering wheel. Girl, it's raining. What's wrong with you, Helen? You know you can't stop this quick. So let me get up out of here. Helen, all up on the steering wheel. All up on the, not the steer, but the steering wheel. Let me move on out the way. I already done seen somebody get tapped in the back and the lady put the makeup all over her face, looking like I Love Lucy. My God, today. But let me say this. Under this administration, I wouldn't say anything, and I'm going to tell you why. If a man can deport you without due process, then he can kick you out of the military as well. See, people don't understand that when you don't have due process, people can do whatever they want. So I wouldn't recommend it. So I think we're back in the don't ask, don't tell era, I think, with this new administration. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't really know the policy, but I'm sure under this administration, if this man is trying to keep marriage to one man, one woman, and I think the military got trouble. And I know for a fact that trans people in the military are very concerned because I think they're trying to kick them out. And I know this because I have a friend who has a female to male son, and they're concerned. Thank God they got married because they got married in Kentucky and they got their license. But you know, it's very touch and go now. Black people need to be concerned. If you got a lot of tattoos, they may think you with MS-13. I'm just saying because this man is sending anybody with tattoos. But this is the thing: if you're gonna get people with tattoos, go get them neo Nazis with them swastikas because they're domestic terrorists too. Are we gonna send them to Hungary? Are we gonna send them to Georgia? Okay, somebody getting ready to get hurt, baby. Somebody getting ready to get hurt. Why are these people speeding and it's wet? Oh my God, baby, this is why my nerves be bad. I'm from Florida, and in Florida, you know when that rain is starting, you don't speed in rain. You will hydroplane your butt. I've seen cars hydroplane because the roads was wet, especially in the first 30 minutes of the baby. These girls don't know that girls are not well. The girls need to go back to driver's ed. Oh my God, what y'all talking about? Child, they may let them in. They may let them in. Cause you can't tell. Let me say this. Can I say this? You can't tell me that some of the performers in the tops in blue and in the entertainment division of the military, you can't tell me that all the men's is great. Okay? I'm sorry. Uh-uh. You can't tell me they straight. And they have a lot of entertainment and them people in the music division. Okay, they got the military band. You telling me everybody's straight? Right. I'm sure that French horn player. Lord, let me leave the French horn players alone. And that boy playing that piccolo and that other boy playing that clarinet. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm stereotyping. Okay. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this. Ooh, Ready TV. I'm getting ready to get some people mad. But when I went to school in Virginia, baby, them male clarinet players, we knew them male piccolo players, we knew them French horn players, we knew. Honey, them flag boys who like to do them flags. We knew, we knew, we knew. Now I'm sure there was some trumpets. I'm sure there was some trombones and some drummers. But baby, it was them piccolo players, them flautists, them clarinetists, them French horn players, and baby, them flag boys. Everybody, I tell you, one year, everybody knew them. Every last one of them flag boys was gay. And I'm like, what initiation did they do for the flag boys? I'm telling you. Oh, they trying to get that real ID. He played several instruments. Okay, but Ebony, you a woman though. Ebony, you a woman. You's a woman. I'm a woman. You's a woman, Ebony. You is a woman. Not you are, but you is a woman. Baby, I knew a couple of clarinet players and flautists and piccolo players. And baby, they like poetry. Ooh, now I know. And I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that because this person is famous. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because this person is famous, and I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But baby, them flag boys, honey, they twirl them flags now. At Norfolk State, they call them the Spartan Guards because they would guard the females, the dancers, called hot ice. But it's very ironic because most of the men who did guard women back in ancient times, they were eunuchs. They was eunuchs. They were unitarics. So they were eunuchs. So I ain't trying to, but honey, they would twirl them back. They had the big flags, and they would twirl them flags. Then we had the Silkettes who did the little flag, but the Spartan Guard did the big flag. And then, how about Jackson State have a whole male baton twirler girl? Baby, he be twirling them batons, and you can't, baby, you gonna hit my car. You better watch it. I don't know why these people want to drive fast in the rain. Oh. Anyway. Oh, Jesus. They was in denial. Hold on for a minute, y'all. All right, y'all. Well, look. Baby, I'm gonna let these people drive like crazy, but I gotta go. Peace and love. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.